Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most misunderstood and emotional topics in human relationships, infidelity. But instead of the usual blame and shame, we're unpacking the hidden psychological forces that drive people to betray, even when they love their partner. In this guide, we'll pull back the curtain on unconscious self-sabotage, reveal insights you've never heard before, and explore the emotional mysteries behind why we destroy what we love most. Get ready for eye-opening truths that just might change the way you think about love, loyalty, and yourself. What if the real reason people cheat isn't desire, but fear? Imagine reaching the peak of happiness in a relationship, only to sabotage it when it matters most. It sounds illogical, yet this is a hidden pattern for so many. When we look deeper, infidelity isn't just breaking a promise to someone else. It's breaking a contract with yourself. Where does this urge to destroy something good come from? Could it be that happiness itself feels dangerous if you've lived your whole life bracing for loss? In the next few minutes, we'll uncover the shadowy corners of the mind where self-sabotage is born and why betrayal might be an act of self-protection, not simple malice. This is the story nobody tells about infidelity, and it starts within. Let's begin with the lie most people believe about cheating, and why the truth is far more complicated. Most conversations chalk up cheating to passion, opportunity, or simple boredom. But scratch the surface, and you'll find deeply ingrained psychological patterns, roots that grow from early childhood experiences. Many cheaters aren't thrill seekers, but survivors of hidden wounds. Think about attachment theory. If you grew up fearing abandonment or expecting disappointment, you might see intimacy as a risk, not a comfort. As relationships get serious, old alarms go off. Suddenly, the closer you feel to someone, the more vulnerable you become. Cheating, then, becomes less about wanting something new and more about avoiding the pain you fear might be coming. Next, we'll explore how this fear gets hardwired into our brains, and why even the most loving partners aren't immune. Science shows that our brains are conditioned by early experiences. If love once meant unpredictability or rejection, our minds learn to be on guard, even decades later. It's like carrying an emotional smoke alarm that never shuts off. Every sweet moment in a new relationship can trigger anxiety, not joy. What if they leave me? What if it all falls apart? In this haze of fear, people sometimes take drastic action to control the outcome, even if it means burning everything down first. Cheating isn't always planned. It can erupt as a sudden, primal response to old, unhealed panic. If you've ever wondered how someone could betray what they value most, the answer lies here. Our past shapes our panic, not just our preferences. But what happens psychologically just before someone crosses that line? Let's dive in. In the moments before infidelity, the mind is a storm. Rational thoughts clash with raw emotion, and fear rises to the surface. For many, the urge to cheat appears precisely when things are finally going well, when vulnerability is greatest. It's at these emotional crossroads that fight or flight instincts take over. The person isn't seeking pleasure. They're desperately seeking relief from the intensity of positive emotion. Ironically, the happier and more invested they feel, the scarier the possibility of loss becomes. This is why infidelity so often strikes in the midst of stability. They're not running from boredom or their partner, but from their own fear of being truly seen. Up next, why risk is mistakenly equated with freedom. Why do some people perceive cheating as an escape hatch, a way to reclaim freedom? It's rooted in the belief that being attached means being trapped. For those who fear vulnerability, strong connections feel like losing control. Cheating becomes a misguided attempt to assert independence, to prove that no one really holds sway over their emotions or fate. The irony, in seeking freedom, they chain themselves to guilt and regret. Stories abound of individuals who, after cheating, realized the only prison was the one they built in their own mind. But if cheating is a false freedom, what is its real emotional payoff? Let's dig deeper into the psychology of preemptive betrayal next. Some betrayals are calculated, others are almost reflexive, an unconscious strike before being wounded. This is called preemptive betrayal, sabotaging the relationship to avoid the pain of rejection later. Think of it as, if I leave first, I can't be left behind. Cheating in these cases, is a protective shield forged in past heartbreaks. It's less about the person being cheated on, and more about the cheater's fear of being exposed as needy or fragile. Sadly, this act almost guarantees the very isolation they dread. Yet this behavior isn't rare. Brain research confirms that people are wired to avoid pain, even if it means self-destructing. Next, let's examine how the cycle of self-sabotage is maintained year after year. Self-sabotage doesn't end with a single mistake. It's often a repeating cycle. After the initial rush or relief of cheating, regret sets in. This guilt can be overwhelming, yet strangely familiar for those who've lived with persistent self-doubt. The cycle feeds on itself. I've ruined things again, just like I feared. This belief keeps people locked in self-fulfilling prophecies, making escape feel impossible. Over time, their sense of unworthiness grows, leading them to expect, or even orchestrate, future rejections. The only way out is to break the pattern by recognizing its roots. Up next, how insecure attachment styles drive these damaging cycles. Where do these patterns start? For many, the answer lies in insecure attachment styles: anxious, avoidant, or disorganized. These attachment styles shape how we relate to intimacy and trust. The avoidant fears being smothered and uses distance as a shield. The anxious dreads abandonment and will do anything to keep connection, even if it means sabotaging it. The disorganized vacillates between craving and fearing closeness. Cheating, for them, becomes a way to maintain control and keep emotional distance, without ever addressing what's really going on inside. These patterns aren't character flaws. They're survival mechanisms learned in childhood. Coming up, the universal symbol of rupture and why we choose it for escape. Why is infidelity the drama of choice for so many when they want out, consciously or not? It's because cheating is a universal symbol of rupture. Nothing ends a relationship faster or more decisively. In some twisted way, it offers a clear exit route, sparing the pain of honest but difficult conversations. It's easier, at least in the moment, to be the villain than to appear weak or confused. This explosive act of self-destruction justifies self-hatred and grants a grim sense of control. But what happens after the dust settles? The pain lingers, and so do the questions. Up next, the emotional aftermath no one wants to talk about. After the secret is out, waves of pain ripple through both partners. The betrayed struggles with confusion and anger, while the betrayer faces shame and self-loathing. Researchers find that, for many, the shame after cheating is even more intense than the act itself. It can paralyze, making true reconciliation, either together or apart, more difficult. This is the silent fallout, the emotional debris that lingers long after the physical act. But inside this crisis is a chance for real growth, if the cycle is understood and broken. Next, we'll explore how healing can only begin with radical honesty, with yourself and with others. Healing from infidelity isn't easy, but it starts with radical self-understanding. This means uncovering the real motivations behind your actions, not justifying them or hiding in shame. Therapists emphasize the power of naming your fears. What are you really afraid of losing? What pains are you avoiding? In these honest moments, transformation becomes possible. Both partners can begin to move beyond the cycle, not by forgetting, but by fully understanding what happened and why. Next, actionable steps to interrupt self-sabotage before it causes lasting damage. So, how can someone finally stop the cycle of unconscious sabotage? It's about learning to recognize the warning signs, anxiety, distance, fear, before they become actions. Practical steps include building emotional awareness, seeking therapy, communicating openly about fears, and reimagining what intimacy means. Many who break free from these patterns report feeling more alive and connected than ever before. The journey isn't linear, there will be setbacks. But each moment of awareness is a step toward breaking the invisible chains of fear and regret. Up next, how this new understanding can actually strengthen relationships instead of ending them. The surprising truth? Uncovering and confronting your unconscious fears doesn't just protect your relationship, it deepens it. Partners who learn together about their triggers create a stronger, more resilient bond. Instead of seeing infidelity as an endpoint, it can become a starting line for a new, more honest chapter. Vulnerability, once viewed as a liability, transforms into the very thing that anchors love. In the end, true healing isn't about erasing the past, but rewriting the future together. As we wrap up, let's reflect on the ultimate insight this journey has to offer. Here's the core truth. Most people would rather be disliked, or even hated, than appear fragile or scared. Infidelity becomes armor, the shield that keeps people from facing their deepest wounds. But once you lay down that shield and confront your true self, real connection is finally possible. This journey is not for the faint of heart, but the rewards are immense: self-acceptance, stronger relationships, and a chance to love and be loved without fear. So the next time you hear a story about betrayal, remember, it's not always about desire or malice. Sometimes it's a desperate attempt to escape one's own vulnerability. Thank you for watching and for daring to explore the depths of the human heart with me today. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the hidden psychology of infidelity. Remember, understanding our fears and motivations is the first step toward genuine healing and stronger connections. If today's video sparked a new insight or challenged your beliefs, drop your thoughts or stories in the comments. We want to hear from you. Don't forget to subscribe for more explorations into the complex world of human emotions and relationships. Until next time, take care of your heart and your mind.